What's up, gamers, and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and well, thank you very much for tuning into this video. Today we've got a little bit of an interesting, different type of video. It's actually like an interview style video with Tank of Hellstormwargaming. Who'd have thunk? We actually played a part in the Las Vegas NOpen this weekend, which was a collaborative event between a whole bunch of channels from all over the world, run by the 40k Stat Center. It was essentially like a 16-man elimination knockout tournament with a little bit of a twist because the players didn't progress rounds, just the lists did. It was really fun. Me and Tank were involved. We played 2 games. We did Blood Angels versus Sisters and Custodes, and then we did Necrons, which was the list written by Richard Siegler, versus Sisters and Custodes again. And that list won both games and then went on to win the actual whole event. It was commanded by Manny Chima of Glasshammer and then John Lennon of the Art of War 40k. It was a really fun event, but I managed to sit down with Tank to and chat to him some of his thoughts about his list, why he took some things, about the event in general. So it's kind of like a sit down discussion. So grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee, you know, do some painting, and hope you enjoy the video. Also, I just want to mention that if you are watching this video, only a small percentage of people actually subscribe to the channel. You know, you watch the video, but then you don't click subscribe for some reason, and I don't get it. So if you could, if you could subscribe, that'd be great. That'd be absolutely. I had to pin you down because you've been like highly sought after for the past few days. Obviously, after your list going on hashtag SHIELDWALL, making it all the way to the top and becoming the first.
That was my favourite thing on the whole weekend was the meme that came out of it.
Yeah. The first and probably only Las Vegas NOpen winner. So that is a title that you can take to bed now. Because hopefully there's not another one, as everyone said. But in that regard, anyway.
I was listening to, I think it was Chapter Tactics earlier.
Yeah, I listened to that as well.
They were talking about maybe doing a similar thing in 6 months, he was saying. So
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'd get the invite again.
Hopefully. I'm kind of banking on not my playing ability, but your like now fame of being the fact the first winner of this type of event, you have to get invited back, which means they have to invite me as well. I think that's how it works, right?
Well, either of us could have won either of those games if certain things had gone differently.
Yeah.
Like when you have 2 good lists, it does come down to first turn and dice spikes sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like it's not really. I mean, I suppose they will like. You'd like to think they'd invite the winner from last time, but yeah, I mean, I think what was actually in it has been like done to death elsewhere. How it came about over the sort of autumn, I was having a bit of like an AdMech adventure and trying to make those work. I was really struggling to sort of play the mission with the AdMech because just feel like the Electro Priests are awesome, but so expensive. Essentially, my list was revolved. I was having my counter charge and my sort of board control was 2 units of priests and 2 drills.
Okay.
And you're writing lists, and it's like 170 points for 10 priests.
Yeah.
And then 180 points for a drill times 2. I was writing these lists, I was thinking, it was just this like 800 points for 2 units of priests in my list.
Yeah. I'm
like, I just put Repentia in, the better. They cost about like a third of the price. For
oh, really?
I sort of progressed to AdMech with Repentia countercharge.
Yeah, and obviously they have access to rhinos as well, which are obviously way cheaper than the drills. Very different, but a lot cheaper.
At the time, it was like a 9-girl unit and a rhino for 200 points.
Nice.
And then I said this died when I had a TTS game with Alex Harrison.
Okay.
And, he showed up to give me a game, and he was like, "Oh, I've got these 2 lists that you can like choose to play against." One of them was like this horrendous, like 6 AdMech flyers and 12 chickens or something. and the other one was Iron Hands Dreadnought spam.
Okay.
Also horrendous.
No pressure.
It was like 3. It was like 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts and 2 Leviathans and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, the Dreadnoughts. At that point, I learned that the big problem with that list is that on normal terrain, you can't hide 3 Scorpius tanks, 5 chickens, and 2 rhinos out of sight.
You have to pick and choose at that point.
He got to go first, and he managed to. I think he killed a Scorpius and like 2 chickens with his shooting.
Yeah.
Moved up a bit. So not the end of the world. And then I proceeded to fire like 800 points of AdMech with Call, and I used about 5 CP. I didn't kill 1 Redemptor Dreadnought.
Because they have like Wrath of Mars and everything, don't they?
+1
So
to wound, +2 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that -1 damage. And
yeah.
most the AdMech stuff is only like -1 AP.
Yeah.
They just struggle a bit in this like elite good armor save meta.
Uh-huh.
So that was when the AdMech dream kind of died, or got put on the back burner.
Yeah.
Certainly. It's not their time right now. And I've been playing a bit of Pure Sisters in the background because bought Dan Buchanan's Sisters off him, his metal ones you've seen on the channel. I was having a lot of fun with them, and I was obviously aware of how good Repentia and Retributors were. I found they were just struggling to sort of play the mission because the Sisters, they tend to obviously they like to hide because they've got power armor, but they're quite squishy really.
Yeah, toughest 3 lets them down really.
Yeah, they have loads of stuff and they try and stay out the way and kind of throw cheap crap out into the middle of the board. And when it gets killed, they'll kind of kill what kills it and try and trade up against some of the real fast-moving pressure armies that can hit you with loads of stuff at once. Like your Blood Angels and Dan Brooks' Pure Custodes. And some of these like abhorrent things Harrison was throwing at me. You just get like overwhelmed sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe like a better player with a bit more finesse and guile could work around that, but it wasn't working for me. So I decided to soup in some Space Wolves, just because to be honest, it's just because they're my favourite army and I've got loads painted.
Yeah.
Marines are good at the moment. I did a little video that's floating around in the Facebook actually on that list, but
yeah, for sure.
I basically had some incursors to get me some board position, some eliminators, some Wolfen for a bit of counter charge, and plasma inceptors, which are obviously really good shooting. And
yeah,
for
sure.
Nyal for a little smite battery and stuff. Again, I was just play testing, and it's probably skewed the play testing because I was going into Dan's Custodes a lot, but
yeah.
It just wasn't enough durability, and they just couldn't hold the mid board long enough to protect the Sisters.
Yeah, because you actually streamed a tabletop simulator game into the premium Facebook group, right? And
people could watch that and listen to how salty I was getting. About
yeah, I remember you
on the other end of the shield wall.
Yeah, you like threw like a fully buffed up unit of Wolfen into that shield captain, and he lost like 2 wounds or something.
I think I got 3 wounds through, and he rolled 3 6s for the field of pain.
Yeah. Oh man, it was so funny. You could definitely hear it in the voice. He was just like, "Yeah, this is fine. This is fine."
I actually messaged Dan. I said, "Oh, Dan, I wanted 2 units of 5 sword and board, that indestructible captain. Can I fit that in 909 points?" And he was like, "Yeah, let me look." And he was like, "Oh, mate, you can't just have that. You can have Trajan as well." I was like,
Yellow.
I wanted to be like prepared to like do a good game on the stream and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, do you want me to run Blood Angels into you?" Because the other thing we were thinking is, I said to Dan, like, think like on paper. I didn't quite realise quite how the list was going to click then. And it had a good chance. And I was saying to Dan, like, on paper, you can like learn the rules together by you running them against me.
Sure.
You can kind of figure out the book as we go.
I was going to say, I think that would be the most unique thing about the event, because the way it went, that everyone who won their first game played their list round 2. So, like, for example, you played your list round 2, and then obviously every other player did. But in ours, we actually already pre-decided that if I won my first game, you were going to play the Blood Angels anyway, which would have been actually quite interesting as well.
If the Slanesh had won, I'd won, you were going to use the Custodes, weren't you?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so we were probably the only table that we decided we're like, yeah, we're just going to swap.
Because I fancied the Slanesh, and you obviously like them.
I was like, I know Necrons, I know them enough to play them, and you like, neither of us really knew Slanesh either.
I'd watched Mark Perry play like a couple of times.
Yeah.
On stream, so I suppose that kind of makes me an expert.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just watch one game, and that's all it takes. We all know how that goes.
It looked like he just totally ran at people. So.
Just advance the Furies and get engaged, and then just charge everything else, and it'd be all right. That'd be all good.
That would have been epic, Slanesh into the shield wall.
That would have been quite interesting, actually.
So yeah, we did that game with Dan against the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels actually won in that sort of test game we had.
Sure.
I actually won the role to go first in that mess about game we had. And I said, I think it's good for me if I go first. And I want to see like the worst scenario. So I said, you go first. So he sort of like YOLO'd the Death Company like you do. And he sort of like, he didn't make like a crazy good trade, but we spoke about this. The Death Company come in and sort of cause a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
The problem is then, instead of being able to push out onto the objectives, perhaps shoot into your things on the other side of the board, I've got to hold things back to kill the Death Company and shoot my shooting into my own the stuff that's in my own lines.
Yeah.
You always want to hold back a bit more than what you think you need, just to make, because if you leave like two of them, it's with hammers. You've sent everything else forward. It's like an absolute disaster.
It's still 10 attacks on the charge or something daft with the right strat. So
they're like right in your lines next turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and then cleared them out, and then of course, then the rest of all your fast things are you just get pinned in, and you just can't catch up on points. The Blood Angels did actually pretty much get tabled, but I'd just been pinned in and I couldn't get out in time, so I learned quite a lot. I made some bad secondary choices as well. Okay. And it was to give credit where it's due. People have made quite a big deal about taking While We Stand We Fight on Trajan and the Shield boys. Then people typically take that and keep it at the back. Yeah. He sort of said to me, take it on them. He said, just use them. He says, play them aggressively, use them like normal. People won't kill them. Or, well, obviously, sometimes they die, but he said it'll sort of weirdly put pressure on them and it'll take some heat off your sisters. Yeah. And he said they're so durable that chances are they won't all die, and just sort of trusted in it and did it, and it works. While We Stand does, it really like forces you to focus on them, because if you don't deal with them, that's 15 points you get. So every unit you kill is a 5-point swing in my favour. And obviously that's super hard to do when you've got like 3+ invulns just rocking and just being annoying as they are. And so like it is quite, because when we actually spoke about it just while we were setting up for the stream, I was like, oh yeah, I've got a good idea what this list is going to do. You know, the Custodians are going to sit at the back and hold the objectives while the Repenters do the work. And you're like, nah, I'm just going to be aggressive with them. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Shield wall. Shield, yeah, exactly. It catches you off a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. So, I kind of knew you were going to do that, but then, like, moving into the game talk now, like, you got first turn to be super aggressive, and then I kind of like probably split my forces because I thought I could deal with both, and then realized afterwards that I couldn't, because obviously you had like. You've got the Shield Captain, because if anyone didn't watch the game, basically I charged the Smash Captain and 5 Vanguard Vets, both in the Assault Doctrine, into the Shield Captain, the Indestructible Shield Captain, and then I charged, also in the Assault Doctrine, Death Company, a unit of 6 with 3 hammers, into a unit of 5 Custody Guard. And I think I did quite a bit of damage to the Shield Captain, even though you turned off the rerolls on him. About half his wounds, didn't you? Yeah, which actually wasn't too bad. But like the Death Company, literally, like I think one wound got through with a chainsaw or something daft, weren't it? Because you transhumaned, if I remember rightly. I think transhuman, and I think there were like 3 saves to make. Yeah, I made them. I mean, no, clearly it worked. You know, you got a meme out of it. We've got a T-shirt coming out of it. It's clearly worked. That's why he's like a real LVO winner. You're the real LVNO winner, Tank. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Fancy my chances, because I mean, being honest with you, for the record, there's no game that I fancy against your Blood Angels. I was going to lose if I didn't go first. I got to go first. And against the Necrons, I was going to lose if I didn't go first, and the same happened again. Yeah, I think behind any sort of it's obviously the list that won the event, not me. I'm clear about that. But in any like event where something wins, there's always like a bit of a run of luck and things that go your way, isn't there? Sure, yeah. But yeah, the Mortarian one and the Bash Brothers list, obviously it'd be a tough game, and I can't really speak in an informed way about it because I've not played it, but when you've got the multi-melters, you've always got a chance. True. Against the big models. True. And you've got the miracle dice. You've also got access to 3 different ways to deny psychic powers. You've got the Sisters 4+1, Custodes 4+1, and the Custodes can do a 2 dice deny as well.
Like a normal deny the witch.
Sort of missed the start of the Grey Knights game. I thought that's terrifying for the list because Sisters hate ignore line of sight shooting. Yeah,
because they are so lightly armored, as you said.
And if I think if Guard came back into the meta in a big way, it'd like push Sisters out a lot. I thought the Astral Aim was going to be a real pain.
Yeah.
But what Manny did, he typical Manny, got to go first. He put a right. I think this is right because I missed the start of the game, but I was catching up on the chat. So I think he put a Rhino on the line. Went first. He advanced this Rhino right up the field.
Okay.
He used the Sisters 4+ deny to shut the Astral Aim down first turn.
That's a good play.
And turn 2, bloody. He got like 1 million charges off. I think he had both Repentia units in combat turn 2. And I think at the end of turn 2, I think Manny was on every objective on the board.
Oh my god! If I remember rightly, for that mission,
it's worth a watch that game. Like Manny just has all the. He plays well, but he has like all the jammy look like Manny always does. Yeah. And Dan's got this real like janky, like high skill cap. Knights list he's unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
And Manny just sort of like goes to town and I think it was like 53-8 at the end of turn 2.
Oh man, that is rough. That is rough.
I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry.
Going on to like Dan maybe misplaying the army and not knowing how to use it. Obviously, like there was the game on Play on Tabletop where there was the Smash Bros versus Drakari. A lot of people, a lot of the, vocal minority were angry about that game because it might have been misplayed. And also with our game where I used the Necrons versus you, Richard Siegel's list. And Richard Siegler was in the chat saying, no disrespect to Siegler, obviously he's got some weight to this comment I'm about to make. He's like, oh, Tank's made all these mistakes. I would do this, and then I can't lose this game now. And then I go forward to lose that game. But it's quite interesting because I think that I don't think, while people might be angry about that.
What do you think my mistake was? Taking domination, do you think?
I think he thinks your mistake was, if I remember rightly, was taking domination and then splitting your forces as well, because domination forces you to do that. Because you obviously, in our second game, we're obviously hammer and anvil style deployment, so short board edges, and there's 2 objectives in the middle, and it's basically this mission comes down to who control these 2 objectives, or at least controls one of them. So, and I think because you took domination, you split your forces, so he was like, okay, I've won this game now because you split your forces, I'll deal with one side and I'll deny your domination all game. In so many words, I think that's basically what he said.
Interesting sort of counter backstory for that is...
Okay. I love this.
Annie gave me a phone call on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, Tank, I love your list. I really want to use your list in the semi.
Such a good dude. Like, I love that guy.
He was like, I think you've got this. I think you've got this. And he was like, this mission gives you a chance. And it was actually Manny who put it in my head to take domination. And he thought domination was 100% the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that his opinion was take domination.
The mission specific. Yeah, it's not Dave's. It might be called Vital Ground. I can't remember.
Yeah, he says you're going to have to go first to stand the chance, but you do regardless of what you pick.
Yeah.
But he said take those, then you're all in on holding the objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Throw your Custodes up and like let them do their thing. He said he's got the Veil first turn.
Yeah.
He said if you get in cover, you've got a 2+ armor and you can tangle foot them.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it was actually him who said put your shield captain in range of his home objective. He said just keep an eye out if he like takes his obsec off his home objective.
Okay.
Leaves like those little gribbly
crypto thralls.
He said if he does something like if he leaves just some little non-obsec stuff on the home objective, just like turbo boost your captain over onto it.
Maybe
it was interesting.
Maybe if Siegler really wanted me to win, maybe he should have given me the pep talk before, because I wanted to go over that like, because a lot of people are hating me on Reddit at the minute because I supposedly didn't know how to play Necrons. But Siegler messaged me the night before, and I said, like, give me a quick rundown, like, what are the things to watch out for? And he was just like, don't let the Repentia charge you from the ruins, right? He said, don't let that happen. That was one of the messages he said in so many words. So, like, when you went first and put the Repentia and the Rhino behind a big L, my first thing to do was like, oh, fuck, get away from that big L. And it shows. That's why my army pushes to the middle, away from the two L's. I think I said that to you during the stream. I was like, I'm trying to like move forwards, but also not get into the L's. But there's like I'm like funneling myself in the center, and the board's only so big. And then ultimately, that was the thing that like cost me the game, probably, because if I was like super aggressive turn one, like, because I think we jokingly said, like, I was like, I'm not really sure what to do. I don't want to go into you because I'm just gonna like hit the shield wall, and nobody wants that. Because I think I jokingly said I might throw the Silent King away turn one into your shield captain and then like body you like with the Necron Warriors. But then you said something like, I'm sure Siegler would love to see you throw the Silent King away turn one. And I was like, yeah, that's probably not a great idea. That's probably not a great idea. So what I'll do is I'll be super cagey.
For the record, I wasn't trying to trick you there. I genuinely didn't think it would be a good idea.
No, hopefully I wasn't implying that. I was more of a bit of a like, let's not throw the Silent King away. That's not a good idea. Maybe actually at the end of it that would have been a good idea. Because then like I think it was like I failed a 6-inch charge turn 2 with a reroll, or 6 or 7-inch charge or something with a CP reroll for the Silent King, and obviously he'd moved out more aggressively, and it was like now or never. And my plan was is to kind of like throw everything into your shield captain and then tag and wrap the custody guard with this Silent King in there, because they were all like next to each other in this building, right? And I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'll charge the Silent King in, and then he'll attack first, hopefully, or like maybe I'll attack with something else, but like he'll pile into the guard, and then I'll wrap them. So then he's locked in combat unless he wants to spend CP. That's fine. So if he does that, I can Overwatch. If he doesn't do that, I can't get shot. And then it was just like everything just went downhill. Rocks started tumbling. There were many here, and they were falling over. And you know, the rest is literally history. 12-inch explosion, and then the rest is history.
I think Pablo said that was his favourite moment, that explosion. And apparently the Aussie commentator made some like legendary quote. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something like the Silent King has been silenced, or something daft like that. Again, I think that adds to the quirk or the fun of the event. It's like, it isn't a traditional tournament. It's people picking up lists that they might not necessarily know properly, and that's kind of like the fun of it, I think. The sort of mild controversy and banter, it's all part of it, and it's fun. And like as people who sort of play Warhammer on YouTube, you're sort of putting yourself out there, and we get things wrong. We try not to, but we get things wrong all the time, and you've just got to sort of take it on the chin and just crack on and keep trying to do your best, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's quite interesting because I think that kind of like makes I think Danny's also raised this point, so I don't want to take it totally off my own, but I think it makes it quite interesting when you think about your list building aspect, like how crazy you make your list or how finesse you make your list, because ultimately you won't be playing your list every game. It's going to be picked up by God knows how many people. If they make a bigger event, it could get picked up by 5 people along the way. In this one, it was only picked up by 3 people because you managed to play 2 of the games. But did you consider that with your list writing? Because I'll be honest, I didn't. But I was also playing Space Marines, so it's kind of like, you know, Blood Angels, just charge and hope for the best. It'll be fine.
Not intentionally, but perhaps it definitely suited my playstyle.
Yeah.
In a weird way, maybe because I'm not like a Nick or a John Lennon or a Siegler, and I've not got that sort of like really high level play. Perhaps I designed a list that suited me as more of an intermediate player, and made it inherently easier to use and a bit more straightforward, and that was beneficial.
Yeah, I wouldn't say your list was straightforward to use. You obviously had a portion of it which was a one-trick pony, just like run up the field and hope you make 3-ups, right? The shield wall, the best part of the list. But obviously, the rest of it is quite tricksy.
They've
like
got amazing scraps.
Yeah, exactly. You've got
the sisters are very finesse.
Yeah.
What the Custodes really do is they bring some forgiveness to the sisters, don't they?
Yeah, because I think we've always said that like sisters are, as you already said in this bit, but like they are really lightly armored, so they just die in droves. But then the Custodians are such a big distraction that it doesn't matter, because you're just shooting like toughness 5, 3 wound bodies with a 3+ invuln, and it's just like, what are you going to deal with? And
it's such a fun army to play, though, mate. I mean,
it does look fun.
As much as I hated playing against them, sort of totally started to get it why Dan loves them so much, because just got like Gerard Butler saying 300 quotes in your brain the whole game when you're rolling saves and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I sort of stand behind the 3x2 multi-melters for that right now. I could actually get behind putting more multi-melters in there with, Mortarion coming into the meta.
I was always thinking, because like Trajan in your list, kind of like, he's all right. He gives you that free stratagem, but doesn't do much. I was thinking, why don't you could always take him out and put more Custodes in with more shields?
Oh, this is true. Could you do that in a patrol?
Yeah, because you only need 1 HQ and you can have up to 3 troops, I think.
People have asked, like, how would you improve it? And Trajan would be the guy that went, I think.
Yeah.
His moment shackle's really nice, but you could have like another bike captain and a melter gun, or you could even have 3 of the Alaris Terminators, or you could have 3 of the guys with the wings for a bit more speed.
Yeah, the Venatari, I think they're called.
So there's options there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you'd need to do to improve the list. I think it would be something that gave you mobility.
Yeah, so maybe like 2, as you said, like 2 bike captains instead of Trajan.
The only issue with that is when you play into more sort of heavy shooting armies and heavy combat armies, I suppose the 2 CP transhuman for the Custodes and the turn off reroll for 2 CP. Those are like absolutely paramount for that shield wall to function.
Yeah.
You want to perhaps sort of outflank your Death Cult Assassins and a unit of Sisters maybe for playing the mission.
Sure.
Starting with 6 CP, I guess 7 on your first turn.
Yeah.
Trajan ability to get a free stratagem can be really clutch. And he
yeah,
like
it's really good.
It's a tanky beat stick unit in his own right, so it wouldn't be an easy decision to drop him. If people wanted to experiment with it, I'd suggest looking into I think you've got to keep the sword and board as 5s, to be honest. I think that's the magic number. Where if you've got like 3s, it becomes a bit more accessible for people to think they can whittle through it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's daunting. That bike captain, you've got to have him all day. I'd maybe go the Forge World Flying Custodes. I forget what they're called.
Venatari.
Got quite good shooting. They can deep strike for free, and they've got good mobility, and obviously they're relatively tough.
Yeah, they've got the 2+ save back now as well, haven't they? I know they had a 3 up before, but I think they've gone to 2 up, which makes them really good.
Yeah, or another shield captain on jet bike. Anne might correct me here, but I'm pretty sure there's still a way to get a second character on a 3+.
They're almost indestructible. Yeah, which is pretty good. Because I think there's like +1 invuln, and then there's the bike, isn't there? The re-roll in charge bike currently.
A second captain with a 3++ would be a good addition.
Yeah, because you could, again, it's the CP thing, the moment shackle that really makes Trajan. But I mean, another bike captain which can just like fly around your backfield to protect the Sisters and stuff might be quite cool as well. So yeah, really. Not that I should be educating you on list building, because yours is obviously better than mine at the minute. So
it's weird, man. There's a bit of magic about those Custodes. Like maybe the Emperor is real, but when I play against Gan, I'm like, here's 3 saves to make. So you should owe me 1 there. Like, there's a 1 in 3 chance that you roll a 1 or a 2 in there. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like, there are 3 saves. Like you should fail 1.
And it just passes them all.
here's no
Lol. Let's go again. So guys, there was the discussion. This is actually streamed live in our Hellstorm Wargaming premium community group on Facebook. If you are a supporter of the Small Board Gang, whether that's on YouTube, on our website, or on Patreon, you can actually gain access to this group. And we streamed it there, and then we've like cut it down for video. So if you did like this type of video, then let me know. I actually really enjoy producing it, so if it does go down well, then I might do some more, get some other people on the channel, and record it live in there, and then make a nice video out of it afterwards. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't be the small percentage, be the big percentage, and hold. And otherwise, have a great day. Bye-bye now.